Michael Stets at thefightnerd.com. I'm here at the MMA World Expo in the Jacobs Center, downtown New York City, with UFC lightweight Jamie Varner. Jamie, 2-1 since you returned to the UFC. You were out of the UFC for 5 years. Been kind of a whirlwind for you. How's it feel?
It's good to be back. It's good to be back in the UFC, man. I was 21, 22 years old when I first started fighting for him. Went to the WEC, and it's just good to be back. I mean, all the eyeballs are, on the UFC. Everybody pays attention to the UFC, and I feel like I'm finally getting the credit that I always deserved when I was in the WEC.
And you've been in some great fights. Obviously, the knockout over Barboza. Nobody picked you in that fight. You're the underdog. Some are calling it the comeback of the year.
Yeah.
Then you get big publicity. You get on the UFC on Fox 4 card. I know you lost, but that was fight of the night. Some say fight of the year. Touch on that for us, and then you get the decision victory over Gillard. So you had a little bit of everything in your return. You know what?
It was definitely a roller coaster ride the past year. I mean, highs of highs and lows of lows. I mean, one of the good things, I come off that loss to Joe. I took that fight on short notice, and I ended up getting injured in that fight, which sucked. But I learned so much about myself and my character, and just fighting in general. Even in a loss, I was still able to walk away with my head high because it was a good performance. A lot of people didn't want that fight. I took it on 3 weeks' notice, and he's arguably a top 10 guy. So it was an opportunity for me to win. It was a win-win situation for me. Even though I lost, we got fight of the year. So I mean, it was cool. But the win over Gillard, I think definitely I was able to showcase a little bit more of my talent and show everybody that I actually have cardio. It's a little different when you have 8 weeks to prepare for a fight and 3 weeks. So it was a good fight. It was a great year. 2012 was great. But I'm hoping to make a title run in 2013.
And how about that, just touch on that Gillard fight, how about that one judge that scored, I think it was 30-27 to Gillard. Were you shocked at that?
Yeah, but you know what? I don't care. I got the win. I knew I won. I think Melvin was pretty surprised that one judge had him win in that fight. I won. I mean, Dana White and a lot of people are like, who the heck was this judge? But you know what? I don't really care. I don't live my life looking in the rearview mirror. I got the win. That was the most important. And now I just renegotiated, re-signed a new 4-fight deal with the UFC. So I'm happy, man. Things are going really well.
And when can we see in the octagon? Anything lined up? Any fight offers come your way yet?
I asked for Rafael Dos Anjos, and I'm hoping to get there into April, May. I tore ligaments in my thumb in my fight with Gillard, so that had me sidelined for about 8 weeks. I think it's been about 8 weeks. So I'm going to be able to start training on Monday. So I'm just kind of waiting, going to start training again, and hopefully, like I said, May. And I want Rafael Dos Anjos. He's a top 10 lightweight, and I think that will get me up that ladder to get to that goal, which is fight for that title.
And you're here representing Head Rush at the Head Rush booth, so talk about them and your sponsorship with them.
This is awesome. I've actually been a big fan of Head Rush for a long time. I know Carlos Condit has done some stuff with them, and Carlos is a good friend of mine. So the fact that they brought me on and brought me out here to New York City to do this World MMA Expo, it's just awesome, man. It's awesome. I'm hoping to do future things with Head Rush, and I like the brand. I like what they stand for, and they're cool guys, great people, and beautiful women.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Just a couple more things. As a UFC fighter, how do you feel about the ranking system that just came out, and how do you feel about, say, Pettis dropping down for a title shot, that kind of stuff? How do you feel? What's your opinion on those?
Pettis is very talented. He's one of the most talented guys in the lightweight division, and the fact that he can even go down to 145 is impressive. I mean, he was going to fight Ben, or he was going to fight for a title. So I think giving him a shot at 145, I feel like that's fair. He earned his title shot against Ben, or the winner of Ben and Strikeforce guy Gilbert Melendez. So I mean, for him to go down there and give Aldo a challenge, I think it's good. It's good for him, and I don't know if he's thinking he's gonna hold 2 belts, but more power to him. He's very talented, so I'm happy for him.
And on the ranking system,
I'm a little upset that I'm not in the top 10, but I feel like they're fair. They're fair. They're accurate. I mean, Joe Silva and those guys, they're behind it, and I got to beat one of those guys to be up there. And all the guys that are there are either guys that I have lost to or just haven't fought yet. So I feel like it's good. I think it's one of the more fair ranking systems out there.
And have you ever had any thought of dropping down the weight class, or you're content with 155 for the rest of the way of your career?
I'd have to cut a leg off, dude. I walk around like 185. Wow. I'm a 155 pounder. I'm a big 155 pounder, I think. How guys like Gleason Tebow do it, unreal. I don't know how he makes weight. I thought he was a 70 pounder when I first met him, but No, I'm a 55 pounder. I couldn't go any lower. I'd have to completely change my lifestyle. I'd have to turn into like a marathon runner to get down to 145. I wouldn't be who I am at 145. My explosiveness and how dynamic I am is what makes me dangerous in fighting, and I wouldn't be that explosive at 145.
Thanks, Jamie. I appreciate it. Look forward to your next fight. There you go, MMA World Expo. It's UFC lightweight, Jamie Varner.
Thank you, brother.